Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be for you. I'm going to explain to you guys where I'm at. That right there is planted pines. But we had a fire last year and it's burned a lot of stuff up. These palmettos got burned up. This is the area where Brother Jeff Townsend, and I, the very first outing that we had together, the day that I met him, this is where we had the encounter where we were being surrounded by Sasquatch, and we seen that werewolf thing, that dog head creature. If you look right here, this is a gravel road. If you continue that way, it'll take you to the peach tree, or plum tree, I'm sorry. It goes down here and it turns, the truck's right there. And it turns, it goes back. We're about a mile or so from the highway. The highway does get close back here, and you'll hear, every now and then you hear a big rig coming by. A car just came in with a young woman in it, and then they turned around and came out. This used to be sand, but they've got a thin layer of dolomite gravel on it right now. But this is the path that Jeff and I walked. Looks like pigs have rooted this up at one point. The water hole is dried up completely. It is completely dried up. Holy cow. Towel in here. But we came in, all of this was filled with water. Every bit of this was. I've never seen it dried up like this. You know, there's no wet spots in it. But we're gonna walk around it as though it still had water in it. Oh, somebody's been driving in here. This road was not here, this little trail. When Jeff and I came in, the water comes right up around these trees right here. Everything you see that's white would be water. Looks like there's still maybe water in the back. But as we were coming out, we were walking under these trees right here, and you can hear them just whistling back and forth all out here in this brush, all up in here. I mean, they were all around us. It was really dark. We could hear them in the open areas like this. But the lights that we had, the only thing you could see is eye shine. You could not make out any figures. I'm gonna go back here to the back, where that's where we were when we had seen all the wood, the trees that were stacked up like walls. From my memory, this is the path that we took, because the water was all the way up here. That tree right there was in water. That fire's burned up a lot of stuff. All these palmettos here were full. Now the wind is blowing today, and so I'm using the wireless mic with a dead cat on it, a wind screen, just so we don't get the wind noise. So if there is any external noise, we may not hear it. We had walked this edge right here and up under these trees to get around all of this. Yeah, people have been driving back here. This is public land, and it is, you're forbidden from driving back here. It is clearly posted up there where I parked. No vehicles of any type allowed out here. There's a lot of tree damage too. Now we came through right here, but there's a big limb laying across, so I'm gonna go around it. This right here had water in it. All of this did. This is the main watering hole. I've seen this dry up. I've seen that several times. I've never seen this one dry up. And I don't see, well, there's a little bit of water right there left in it. There's a little water back in the back. It's not 100% dry, but it's close. Try to find the spot where we cut in. There's a T-post. I just seen it. Now I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's straight through there. It's got an orange top on it, but it's faded so much it blends in. But it's right there, just behind the brush. We walk past it. Okay, there's the, I guess it's a refrigerator. There's a big tank over there somewhere too, right close to it. And that's where you could feel eyes on you. And watching it, I kept seeing movement. And it looked like an animal, small animal. And Jeff swore up and down that he actually could see the head, the shoulders and neck of a Sasquatch that he said was a juvenile. I'm looking for the tank. It's close to that metal box right there. That's let me see if I can zoom this in. This is a different camera, you guys. I've only filmed one time with it. It's all the zoom I have. Should be right there. Right up on the hill, right there. And the tank, I think it's to the left of it, about 20 feet. I'm not seeing it. It's all right. It looks a lot different. So much stuff is burned up. I believe that's the pine tree where we seen the Sasquatch standing to the side. All of this where I'm at right now had water in it. We were right here in the edge of the trees. I'll try to see if I can stay up right here. Dove. And we had come through somewhere right up in here. You may not be able to find the game trail that I followed. We should be right on it. It should be right here somewhere. Or maybe further down. No, it was not this far down. You see the pine tree right here? And this big bushy thing right there? All right, that bush had leaves all over it. It was full. And whenever we come back, just to the left side of that tree was a Sasquatch standing there facing us, and he was just kind of rocking back and forth like he was drunk. He was just doing this gig. I don't know why, but he was enormous. He was huge. So we had come out right here. It should be right here. Because we turned and started going that way, and I kept having the sensation of being watched. And that's when I turned back and I seen it. I told Jeff, and he turned around. He looked at it through his rifle scope. So it's right here. Right here's where we come out. I don't see any of the... All those trees were right down there. They were stacked up like a maze through here. And I don't see any of them. I don't think they would have burned up completely. But we come out, we had to walk right down the edge of the water right here. And that's when I look back, and you see the pine, the big pine tree. I've seen him standing right there to the right side of it. And Jeff zoomed in with that rifle scope, and that's when he said, we got to go. We got to get going. And all right, right up here, there'll be a trail that shoots back, a game trail. And that's where we seen the black figure that darted across. And Jeff and I both seen it. It wasn't just one of us, it was the two of us. Somebody's cut down all these little pine trees out here. There's one right there too that's cut. I gotta find that little trail that runs straight that direction. When you find that trail, I should be able to get us to within 15 feet of where that dog thing was. Came in, we turned this way. It's got to be right here. There's the lake bed, the watering hole bed, and right there. I wonder if this is it right here. I had to spray down. Ouch. Ooh, well, that hurt. Gee whiz. I'm looking for that path and I'm not seeing it. It's been several years back. I'm pretty sure it was right here. We're right up on it. I'm not seeing it. All the ground, the brush that was on the ground is burnt up. Because it was thick in here, but this stuff was knee high. And then you get up in these pines. The pines were, it was before they planted these. There was just shrubbery. These are very fast growing. These are hybrid longleaf. There's the burn line. When we had the forest fire a couple of years ago, they come in and they dug a little burn path to try to keep the fire from spreading, but it didn't help. And I don't think they cut this. They may have cut this right on it. No. It's right over here somewhere. We come just past it. Everything is so different. This does not look like the same area. But I am probably 85 to 90% certain that dog thing was right over here. I do have snake boots on. I did spray down for ticks this time. All right, there's the water hole. You can see the oak trees that are in the edge of the water hole. And we didn't get much further than this from the water hole. Wish I could see that trail. We did go this way just a little bit. When I started going back, when I told Jeff that I wanted to go back, I wanted to get away from it, I started walking that way, and Jeff corrected me and said, he kept telling me I had to go this way. I wasn't thinking. That thing just had me. Your reality gets really messed up when you see a bipedal dog. It just messes with you. And to see a clear, one of them little bubblehead E.T. creatures, whatever they are, demons, you can't think. I was so focused on what I was seeing, and I just took off somewhere that direction, and Jeff corrected me and kept telling me I had to go that way, and then I turned, and then I seen our tracks over here, where we walked down that game trail. You can see our boot prints in it, and then I made it right down. So we were right here. I'm looking, we come up around the brush, and I think it was right here. There was a divot in the ground, like a pothole, and I went to the right side of it, and that's where I was filming down on top of it. Jeff went around to the left side, and there was a big bush like this behind Jeff, but there was something like this that was in front of me, but it wasn't this high, and I was able to extend my camera stick up high enough to see over it, and then I moved a little bit. Well, Jeff had a bush like that oak tree right here. That small oak was between him and the creature, and he couldn't see it, and when he stepped just past it, that's when he was eye to eye with it. I'm looking for that. There's a divot in the ground. It was just a low spot. It wasn't a hole. It was maybe a giant tree at one time grew there and fell over. There was no tree there, but I'm not seeing any. There's a little divot right there, but that's not it. It's right here. I know I'm on top of the spot. I'm just trying to locate where that low spot is. Oh. It has changed so much. It's really hard to figure out exactly where we were at. I'm looking for that divot that was in the ground, and it was pretty big, probably 6 to 8 foot across. Here it is. Here it is right here. Something just took off down there. Right here. Here's the divot. There's the hole right there. So it was right there. All the little pines, the small volunteer pines that grow from seeds drifting and they just sprout up. These are all planted. State came in and planted these after Hurricane Michael. They cleared what trees were still standing, and they came in and replanted it. They cleared what pine trees were standing that were still good. This is, all right, this is it. This is the spot. Here's a divot. This is the hole. We come around. Jeff went around. There's the big bush. Jeff went behind it. This stuff was preventing him from seeing. It was right there. Where that little oak tree is, it was right there. There was a small pine that may be the pine to the left. Because I was right here. Now I raised my camera up. Let me extend this up. And I was doing like this. And I was filming downward on it. I'm sure it was right there, not at the oak, to the left of the oak. There's a little pine. That may be the same pine that's in that video clip. But it was right there behind that little brush. Wish I remembered exactly which video that is. I'd go back and check. That's just a little scrub oak right there. And it was maybe waist high at best. It was right behind that. Jeff went around behind this. He was between this bush and this stuff here. And he went right here, right behind it. This tree wasn't here, wasn't on the ground. Jeff went up right here. I'm trying to get around all this junk. All right, there's the little oak. There's the little pine. It was right there. I was right there. There's the hole in the ground right there. I was right there. I went on the right side of the hole. Jeff come this way. And he had to have been right here. This is the opening because he said he stepped into an opening. Got a little brush here. And he was aiming the rifle right at it right here. And I'll show you where I'm at. I'm going to just take normal steps, walking steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps. And I was right there. It was right here. It was squatted right here on the ground, and it was sitting here. The body was facing that way, and Jeff was right there. Right there. I was right over there. And when I went down, Jeff corrected me. I had to go back that way to the trail. That's when this thing was sitting here, and it stood up. It started rising up, watching me go down. It was looking over this little holly. Was a lot shorter. It was like this, and it rose up and was watching me. And then Jeff thinks that it realized that he wasn't with me, and that's when it dropped down real quick, and it turned and looked, and it made eye contact with him. And he was right there. Jeff was. The dog thing was right here. That bobblehead ET looking creature was right here, like sitting kind of behind him right there, but you can make it out clearly. Well, I got the creeps. This is the spot. I am certain 100% this is absolutely the spot. There's a little oak. There's the pine. There was another one that was right here somewhere. And I don't see it. There's a baby one, but it wasn't that. It wasn't much bigger than that, but it was right there. By now, it would be 6 or 7. That may be it. These hybrid pines grow really fast. They mature in 15 to 18 years. And Hurricane Michael was 2017. And I think it was the year before Hurricane Michael when Jeff come up 2016. So that may be it. That would have been about the right time as far as age for that tree to grow like that. So the thing that we seen dart across the trail, that trail's over here then. There was an opening, a game trail, and we were watching the game trail. We just happened to look down it, and I got the camera up and started zooming in, and something black shot across the trail. It did not go uphill the trail, it went straight. That may have been it right there. You could see behind the limbs of the holly, you can see where that path continues. I think this was it. This had to have been it. I don't think there's one right here. Oh, there is one right there. Right there. This tree's right in the way. Right there. There it is. There's that straightaway. It's got some brush right there growing in it, but if you look past it, where it goes uphill, you can see that path continues up the hill. That's it. That is definitely it. This little sand pine's gotten a lot bigger. It wasn't that big. But the palmettos were here. Boy, this is creepy, you guys. This is really creepy. I didn't think it would bother me like this. Oh, there's the hole Jeff was talking about. I never seen it. When we were over here, Jeff said, look at the deep hole right there. It's like they're digging for something. I did not see it at all. If Jeff points at this, he points like that. And so the way he was pointing, I was looking back here. I'd never seen that. Holy cow. This is it. This is the trail that we were watching. And whatever it was somewhere right up in here where it shot across the trail. All this stuff on the sides was a lot thicker and taller. It was somewhere right here, and like it shot up that way or over here. And we were just right there where the palmettos are. We were just on the other side of them palmettos. And you can see this straight line. You turn the camera, and it continues up right there. You can make it out faintly that way, but that day we were out here, it was very, very clear, very open. You could see all the way down it. There's a little sapling, a seedling. Holy cow. I'm gonna walk over here. I mean, there's nothing going on. I'm not getting any sensations of any type. I'm not hearing anything, but I didn't think it would creep me out like that. It's been so long ago. I don't even want to walk back this way, the way that we came. That's where we found the big, huge log of feces, human-like feces. That was right back there. I'm going to go around this way. I've never been on this side, but I don't want to walk back that way. I apologize if you guys want to go back and see that. I'll just come back another day. Just got me a little on edge. What a creepy feeling I've got. There's a clearing, like something's been sitting right here. It's nice and cool. It's hot out today, but it is really nice and cool over here. Look at this view. If you look through there, you can see white way off in the distance through the trees. That's the sandbank that goes around where the truck's parked. I just heard a horn blow. Maybe the game warden. That'll be alright. Brother Jeff, I hope I showed right what I was wanting to show where we had our encounter, buddy. Man, I miss you, brother. I wish you was there. But I'll see you again. These boots are not waterproof. but they're snake boots. Ooh, I'm walking on very soft leaf litter. I just want to make sure that's not a game warden up here telling me I got to move my truck because I'm too close to the gate. I could not park at the exact spot where Jeff and I parked that night because the road was different back then. It was a sand trail. And so I can't get in the exact spot. I'm going to get my feet wet. Oh. There we go. Some water hose. It's even melted from the fire. I guess it took everything out when it burned through here. I haven't been here. The last time I've been right here was the night that Jeff and I had that encounter over here. Let's go over here. I'm gonna make my way back to the truck in case that is the game warden. But I want to look for that tank, that freezer in that tank. I cannot believe this is so dried out. This is crazy. All this greenery is, it's not seaweed, but it's underwater grass. This is fresh water, so it can't be seaweed. There's not much wildlife over here now. Jeff and I came up, there were deer tracks everywhere, and I have not seen many. There's some big dog tracks right there. I don't see any deer. Oh, there's a boot track, boot print right there. There's another set, 2 people walking back here. Is that the tank? It was a big tank and maybe it was a sofa. Here's a refrigerator. Big old chunk of plexiglass. Somebody been shooting. I don't want to mess around that. It may have hornets in it. There's a piece of something. That spot we just went in was right over there. That's where we actually seen the creature. I don't know why I came back like this. I'm gonna cross back over, you guys, because I get sidetracked very easy. I've got ADD and ADHD real bad, and I get off track continuously. There's not a lot I can do about it. It's just how the Lord made me, and I'm not on medication for it. They tried to put me on medication a couple of times and I rejected it. I just don't want chemicals in me. God made me this way. So that's the way I'm going to be until he calls me home anyway. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get back over here and I'm going to pick up from when I went back down to the water's edge and Jeff was holding his rifle trained on that dog thing. And then we left. And I'm going to try to talk you through what happened to the best of my memory. I still remember it like it was yesterday, but just some of my memory. I remember a lot of things that I didn't when I recalled it for the first time. All right, we came out somewhere right here. All right, there's the trail. Right up over there is where we seen the creature, or right over there, I'm sorry, right back there. Because I was coming out and Jeff had to direct me this way. So I came back and I came down right here to the, you can somewhat see that trail. I came back right here, and then once I got here, Jeff was watching me. You could see through that stuff faintly. He could see me. I had a real dim headlamp on, and when I got here, I turned around and looked for him, and that's when he seen me turn around, that's when he came and he met with me. We get here, all of this is water out here. The water's up to like right here. All right, we get here, we start going, cutting through, and I've got this bad feeling that I'm being watched, and that's when I just happened to look back, and wherever that tree, we must have been over a little further. Yep, we were right here. This is when I look back, that pine tree right there in the distance, past these couple of oaks. That Sasquatch person was standing on the right side of it facing us, and he was like rocking side to side. He wasn't stepping side to side. Just his body was, he was maintaining his feet in the same footprints. He was just like rocking, like shifting, like something was wrong with him. And that's when I told Jeff, and Jeff turned and looked at him through the rifle scope. From right here, that is roughly 70 yards from me. Just a rough estimate. And Jeff seen what it was, told me we got to go. And we took off. We come through this way because the water was up to there. We come through, we pick the pace up. The truck is back there. We're trying to get to the truck, and it's getting dark very fast. The sun's down. You need light to see under the trees. You look up, you can see the treetops through the horizon. That way was lit up like a pale yellow orange color. You could see the horizon that way. Under here was pitch black. So we're taking off through here. We're following the edge. The water's right up to this point. We're going back. I keep looking back behind me because it feels like this thing is still watching me. But you look back, you can't see the tree. I can't see it at all. We get right up over here. Everything was good. And Jeff and I, he was talking to me, telling me, keep moving, we gotta get to the truck. You know, keep moving, keep your eyes open. We're moving, coming through like this, trying to keep our feet dry. The water's right here, the edge of the water. We get right up in here, and we hear the first whistle somewhere back here. Loud whistle. I'm not going to whistle back here for obvious reasons, but there was a loud whistle back here. All right. Another one answers to it back here. Then we get one on that side of the water, whistling. We keep moving. I think we walked through that, if I remember. We get somewhere right up in here because the water comes around and it hugs this side right here, and we had to go around it. But at the time, this had not been burnt. All of this out here was just lush and green, super thick. This is the area where all the trees were, all the limbs were laid down, and they were lined up like walls. It was like a funnel. But the trees that were here were not part of these trees growing. None of these trees had any limbs missing. They had no damage. A couple of them had roots. But we're coming through, trying to remember, you guys. Oh, we crossed right here. It was wet, but it was like this, and we ended up crossing because we come around it originally. It was when we get right up in here, right before we cross this water, that, excuse the French, but all hell broke loose. We get right up in here. This is water. Jeff is somewhere right up in here, about the middle of this water, and I'm right here, right behind him. And that's when we got whistles. We got whistles over here. We got whistles over here. They're all around us, and you can hear footfall through this stuff. I mean, you can hear them. You know, the bipedal footsteps. It was very, very loud. You could hear them moving all through this stuff. All the leaves have burned away. It was much thicker than this up under here with the leaves. There were cleared spots. I'm trying to find some of the, everything's burned up. But like where this little tree is right here, this little bush, there'd be a huge cleared spot, bare dirt, not a leaf on it. And all them trees, the way they were lined up, they made a funnel to where whatever got funneled into it could only get out one spot over here. And it was like an ambush spot where these, whatever it was sitting here. And I think it was right here. I believe it was right here is where the cleared spot. See how this spot's cleared? It was like that, but it was down to the dirt. There was no leaves in it whatsoever. And the opening to that little trap looking thing was right there. But we kept moving. The big human-like feces was somewhere up in here. I don't remember exactly where, but it was somewhere up in here. But we come through right here. We're following the edge of this. These whistles are they're closing in on us. They're all up in this stuff. This was much thicker than what you're seeing now. I mean, it was 15 to 20 foot tall and just dense. Even with a very bright flashlight, there's no way you could see in it. But the lights that we had, Jeff was shining the light because you could hear several somethings moving, bipedal steps. You know, the crunch, 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 and it'd stop. And then you hear another one over here moving that way. They stayed circling around us, but they kept getting closer and closer. We somewhere right up, I think it was right up in here. All these palmettos were alive. And we walked right through the edge of them over here. But we come through somewhere right up in here, and that's where it sounded like two individuals took off running toward us, really loud. And that was right here, somewhere right here in this area. And Jeff threw his rifle up and was pointing it that direction. And he said out loud, "If any of you are brave enough to step out, I'm gonna fill you full of lead." And it stopped. Whatever was coming at us stopped. When we kept going through here, now whatever it was that charged us started paralleling us right here in this thick stuff. And you could hear each individual footstep. You can hear the whistles. We have whistles coming from back here behind us, the direction we just came. And we got whistles all out through here, all around us. These things were, it was almost like they were trying to prevent us from getting back to the truck. And Jeff, if it weren't for Jeff and his encouragement, I would have ended up going through the woods back there somewhere. There's no way I would have continued toward them. But Jeff isn't afraid of much at all. Other than his mom and daddy and the Lord above, that man just did not show fear. But he was scared that night, but we kept pushing on, pushing on. We got growls started. I believe we were up in here when we started getting the growling sounds, and it was coming pretty hard. But what we did, the truck is down there. We didn't go to the truck and come out. We came out somewhere right up in here. This little road thing was not here at the time. This was all vegetation, but there was a foot. Oh, here it is. This right here is what we come out of. Yeah, this right here was not here. This is a new road. We come out right here. This has been here forever, but it stopped. It stopped right here. There were some concrete square things, like columns, that were put in the ground right here to prevent you from driving in. They went right across. They're gone now, but they were there. So we come up here. We've got growling right here in the side. We got whistling. We got growling on this side and whistling. These concrete things right here, there's one. They had the same thing right there. I think there was 4 of them across, if I remember correctly. This right here was dense. You couldn't see 5 foot into it. And the same with this. The fires burned everything off, but it was super thick. We come out right here, and the truck's down there. The peach tree is down there. We're gonna ride down to it in a minute. But we come out, we got whistling, a lot of whistling on this side, and it's pitch black at this time. So we're coming down the road. At the time, Jeff had the keys in his pocket. It was his truck. But I had batteries and I had all kinds of stuff in my pocket, and when we got here I gave him the keys because it was his vehicle. But all through here we had a lot of movement. Whatever was in here was coming to us, and it was moving fast. We still had these things in here growling at us and whistling. And folks, I cannot physically run due to physical issues that I have. My body will not run if my life depended on it. I just absolutely, and I am unable to run. I can't even talk. The truck was parked right there where that tiny pine tree is. Jeff's truck, and we were facing that way. We come down, all of this was super thick. The driver door was somewhere right up in there. Passenger door right here. Jeff comes to this side, I run to the other side, I don't have the key. So Jeff said, I ain't got the keys, and he digs them out of his pocket. Now he's watching the woods right here. He throws the keys to me. I'm fumbling with it, trying to get the door unlocked, and Jeff is, get that damn door unlocked. And excuse my language, but he was panicking, I was panicking. I finally got the door unlocked. We jumped in, unlocked his door. He's got the gun, his rifle, trained right here, because whatever it is 5 foot inside this. This was super thick. You couldn't see in it at all, even with the headlights. And Jeff's got that 450 Bushmaster pointed right there. And he said something to the effect, if you step out into the open, I'm gonna fill you full of holes. And he did not say it kindly. And I believe he absolutely would have mowed these trees down if I wouldn't have got the door open sooner. If it would have taken me longer, he would have started shooting. Whatever it was right here on the edge. Now we had stuff all up here on us. This was open like it is now, but all of that wasn't. All this was thick. And we had them all around us, and they were making that like a grunting noise. Not like a pig, similar, but it definitely was not a pig grunt. Very weird sound, but we're getting it all up in here. The whistles were all up in here, but everything was concentrated on top of us. all the whistles and stuff we were hearing way back there on the other side, they were all right here within 50 yards of us, all around. Just so many sounds coming from around us. Lots of growling, demonic growling. Far too deep and guttural to be any animal that I'm aware of. But it was just a horrible experience. That was Jeff Townsend's very first encounter with a Sasquatch or a werewolf, Dogman, doghead, whatever those things are. That was the first time he's encountered both of them, was that night. And I left here, we left. Jeff said he didn't want anything to do with this area. This is the first time I've been back. Right now is the very first time I've been back here. And something that I don't do in my videos, because a lot of the areas where we do have activity are areas that I hunt. But I'm going to tell you where I'm at. This is part of Econfina Creek Wildlife Management Area. This is where I'm at right now. I am not far from Rattlesnake Lake, Mabel Pond. I'm looking to see if they have a identifying number here for this exact area. See, they got the sign posted: off-road vehicles, ATVs, dirt bikes. ATVs and or dirt bikes are prohibited, no off-road vehicles. But this is Econfina Water Wildlife Management Area, is where I'm at. Highway 20 is south of me, right here by a mile, maybe. You can faintly hear an 18-wheeler going by right now. I don't know the name of the road, the dirt road that I took to get to this spot, coming in off of Highway 20. But if you follow the dirt road all the way down, if you come to a stop sign, if you drive across the stop sign and follow that to the end, it dead ends at Hammock Pond or Hammock Lake. This road I'm on, I think it's Econfina Road. I think that's the name of the dirt road, but I'm not sure. I am east of Asphalt Plant Road. And if you continue on the main dirt road, the stop sign you come to is Greenhead Grade. And you will pass Rattlesnake Lake on the way, or Rattlesnake Pond, on the dirt road that brings you here. This dirt road ties into it. Coming from Highway 20, it's the second dirt road on the west side of the main dirt road. Once you turn off of Highway 20, your second dirt road will bring you right here where I'm at. This is the water hole. The peach tree is down here. We're going to take a ride. I think I'm going to put a camera up here on the hood. I'll keep my wireless mic going, and I'll put the camera on the hood, and we'll ride down the road so I can explain where we're at. So stand by. Alright, you guys, I just pulled out. We're going to pull down here, and I'll show you where the peach tree is, or plum tree. I'm so sorry, I keep calling it a peach. I've got a lot of peach trees at home that I've planted, that I've started, and a lot that I've propagated. And I got peaches on the mind, I reckon. Anyway, it's a plum tree. It's a native Florida wild plum tree. But this is where I came that day to dig up a baby plum tree, see if it had a baby one from underneath it somewhere, and then take it home and grow it. And I ended up getting a limb thrown at me, and it hit my camper shell and broke my camper shell, and I think it burned up. I should have just now passed it, and I did not see it. Oh, I hope that thing didn't die. I think it did. Gee whiz. Well, I'm gonna turn around right here. This road dead ends. It goes down a bit further and then it just dead ends. So I don't want to go down there to the dead end part. We're going to turn around so you can see where we are at.